What if I told you that Myles Garrett is just half a sack away from NFL immortality, and the entire city of Cleveland is holding its breath? Yeah, you heard that right. Half. A sack. We're talking about the kind of history that gets carved into stone, the kind of moment that defines legacies. And it almost happened at home in front of his family, but football, as always, had other plans. Stick around, because what I'm about to break down isn't just about numbers on a stat sheet. This is about heart, hunger, and what it truly means to wear that orange and brown. Before we dive deep into this chase for greatness, if you're bleeding orange and brown like I am, do me a solid. Smash that subscribe button right now. Let's build this community together, because Browns fans deserve a space where the passion is real and the analysis hits different. Now let's get into it. The Buffalo Bills game. Man, what a gut punch that was. 23-20. A nail-biter that came down to the wire. And while the scoreboard didn't go our way, there was another storyline brewing that had every Browns fan on the edge of their seat. Myles Garrett was hunting. You could feel it in every snap, every explosion off that edge. He was chasing history, chasing Michael Strahan and T.J. Watt's single-season sack record of 22.5. And going into that Bills game, Garrett was sitting at 21.5 sacks. One sack. That's all he needed. One moment of pure dominance to tie the legends. But here's the thing about football. It doesn't care about your timeline. It doesn't care about the narrative. Garrett got credited with half a sack in that game, pushing him to 22 total. So close you can taste it. 22.5 is the magic number, and he's literally one half sack away from tying two of the greatest pass rushers this league has ever seen. Think about that for a second. We're watching potential history unfold in real time, and it's happening in a Browns uniform. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so he didn't get it at home. Big deal. He'll get it next game. But listen to what Garrett said after that Bills loss, and you'll understand why this man is so much more than just a pass rusher. He talked about his family, about wanting to give them something to celebrate, something to smile about. They showed up expecting to witness greatness, expecting that record-breaking moment, and Garrett wanted to deliver for them. Not for the cameras, not for the headlines, for the people who've been there from day one. That's the kind of character we're talking about here. That's leadership. But even with that disappointment weighing on him, Garrett kept it real. He said, I always keep the main thing. I want to win. Boom. Right there. That's your defensive leader. That's the heartbeat of this Browns defense. Sure, breaking the record would be incredible. It would cement his name in the history books forever. But Garrett's wired differently. He's chasing wins first, personal glory second. And honestly, that's exactly the mentality this team needs as we push toward the playoffs. Garrett also didn't sugarcoat the performance. He called out the lack of physicality, especially against the run. He acknowledged the team was a bit too lax, a bit behind where they needed to be. And you know what? He's absolutely right. We've seen it. Those moments where the defense needs to dig in, needs to impose their will, and sometimes it just hasn't been there. But the fact that Garrett is holding himself and his teammates accountable shows you the standard he's setting. This isn't about individual stats. This is about building a championship-caliber defense that can dominate when it matters most. Now, let's talk about what's next, because the story is far from over. Garrett still has opportunities to make this happen. The goal? Breaking the record in just 16 games. If he pulls that off, we're not just talking about tying a record. We're talking about obliterating it with efficiency that the league has rarely seen. This man has been an absolute nightmare for quarterbacks all season long. Collapsing pockets, forcing errant throws, and getting home when the game is on the line. He's been that guy, and every offensive coordinator in the league has to game plan specifically for number 95. Next up, a road trip to Pittsburgh. The Steelers. Division rival. Primetime spotlight. You couldn't script it better if you tried. And here's where it gets interesting. The document mentions Josh Allen and the Steelers in the same breath, which seems like a mix-up, but let's focus on what really matters. Garrett thrives in these division battles. The intensity, the physicality, the pure hatred between these two teams brings out the absolute best in him. Steelers' week is different. You feel it in the air. And if there's a stage for Garrett to etch his name into history, a hostile environment in Pittsburgh where he silences 70,000 terrible towels. That's poetic justice right there. What makes Garrett so dangerous isn't just his physical gifts, though let's be real, the man is a freak of nature. It's the football IQ. It's the way he reads quarterbacks, the way he times his rush, the way he knows exactly when to unleash that explosive first step. He talked about seeing a quarterback's eyes get big when they realize he's coming. That's predator instinct. That's what separates the good pass rushers from the elite ones. Garrett sees the game in slow motion, while everyone else is scrambling to keep up. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. Garrett's impact goes way beyond sacks. When he sets the edge against the run, when he commands double teams that free up his teammates, when his mere presence on the field forces offenses to completely alter their game plan, that's winning football. The stat sheet might say 22 sacks, but the film shows a player who elevates everyone around him. That's why this defense has shown flashes of absolute dominance this season. That's why when Garrett is locked in, the entire unit feeds off his energy. Kevin Stefanski gets it too. After that Bills game, when reporters tried to make the sack record a story, Stefanski shut it down fast. He made it clear that inside the building, they're not focused on individual milestones. They're focused on winning football games. That's the culture. That's how you build something sustainable. And Garrett is completely bought in. He's not campaigning for the record. He's not making it about himself. He's letting his play speak, and if the record comes, beautiful. If it doesn't, he's still going to be the most disruptive force on that field every single Sunday. This is bigger than one record, though. This is about what this season represents for Cleveland. We're watching a team that refuses to fold, that fights in every game, that has legitimate playoff aspirations. Garrett's pursuit of greatness is just one thread in a larger tapestry. It's about building an identity, about showing the rest of the league that Browns football is back, and it's here to stay. The AFC North is a bloodbath this year. Every game matters. Every snap could be the difference between January football and an early vacation. And having a generational talent like Garrett leading your defense? That's the kind of advantage that can carry you deep into the postseason. So here's what I need from you, Browns fans. Keep that energy up. Keep believing. Whether Garrett breaks the record against Pittsburgh or needs that final game, we're witnessing something special. We're watching a player who embodies everything we love about this franchise. Toughness, resilience, excellence. The kind of player who could suit up for any team in the league, but chose to build his legacy here in Cleveland. That means something. And let's be real for a second. If you're enjoying this breakdown, if you want to stay locked in on everything Browns, hit that like button right now. It helps the algorithm push our content to more fans like you. And here at Browns Breakout, we're building something special. A community where real fans get real talk about the team we love. So subscribe, drop a like, and let's keep growing this thing together. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Garrett gets that half sack in Pittsburgh? Are we about to witness history in enemy territory? Or does he make us sweat out until the final game of the season? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Tell me what you're thinking. Are you confident? Are you nervous? What do you want to see from this defense moving forward? Your voice matters, and this channel is as much yours as it is mine. The beauty of this moment, the beauty of Garrett's chase, is that it reminds us why we fell in love with football in the first place. It's not just about the wins and losses, though those matter tremendously. It's about watching greatness unfold. It's about those moments that make you jump off your couch, that make you call your friends, that you'll remember years from now when you're telling stories about the golden era of Browns football. And mark my words, we're building towards something special. This isn't just another season. This is the foundation of something that can carry us to championship conversations. Myles Garrett sitting at 22 sacks with games left to play. A defense that's finding its identity. A team that's fighting for every inch in the toughest division in football. This is Cleveland Browns football at its finest. This is what we live for. So let's ride this wave together. Let's support number 95 as he chases immortality. Let's pack that energy into every game, every play, every moment. Because when Garrett finally gets that record-breaking sack, and trust me, he will, we're all going to lose our minds together. That's the power of this community. That's the power of Browns football. Let's go Browns. History is waiting, and we've got a front row seat.